Hey guys, looks like it's beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today.
Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Thanks so much for stopping by, I do appreciate it. Today's beer, guys, we're going to do the Founders Brewing Company's Breakfast Stout. Guys, this was a very popular beer of mine at one time. I haven't bought too much of it recently. A lot of controversy going on with that brewery, but I'm not getting into it. And at one time I said I wouldn't buy their beers anymore, but I'm not getting into the politics or this brewery did this to somebody or whatever. If you want to buy the beers, buy them. If you don't want to buy them, don't buy them. I've reviewed this beer several times over the years, and I find it a very tasty beer. I have a very limited selection of these Imperial Stouts, if you will, in my area, so I decided to pick this up and re-review it. It is what it is. If you don't want to see it, click off of it. If you want to support them, whatever. I mean, it's up to you what you want to buy, what you want to drink. That's where I'm going to leave it on this. These guys are out of Michigan. It is a 8.3%er, I believe, according to the label here. It says 60 IBUs, 8.3, and this one was bottled on 08/26 of 20. So it is the 2020 edition, and it is a double chocolate coffee oatmeal stout. It's always been an impressive beer to me, guys. It's not a bourbon barrel aged beer, but it has got coffee, so you want to drink it fairly fresh if you want those coffee notes. If you don't, sell it for a while. I mean, I have cellared this beer, and it's still very, very tasty to me. 8.3, 60 IBUs. It says here on Untapped, the coffee lover's consummate beer. Brewed with an abundance of flaked oats, bitter and imported chocolates, and Sumatra and Kona coffee, this stout has an intense, fresh roasted Java note topped with frothy cinnamon colored head that goes forever. So, let's see what the 2020 edition of this beer brings to the table. And it's not super pricey either. So, but again, it's not barrel aged or anything. So, a tasty coffee stout. Very black coming out of the bottle here into the glass. And we'll do the little swirly swirl, make sure we get everything out, and that will increase the head factor quite a bit. Quite a bit when you do that. So if you want more head, just swirl it around in the can or bottle before you pour the final bit in there, and you're going to get what I've got here. Good 2 fingers of head, nice khaki colored. The bubbles are really tight. It's probably going to stick around for a while. A little bit bigger bubbles in there, but it's because of the aggressive pour that I did on it. Over into the light, there is none, guys. It is pitch black. A really good looking oatmeal coffee stout, Imperial Stout, 8.3%. Nice looking beer. Been a while since I've had this. To the nose we go. Yep, coffee is standing out. I mean, if you want those big coffee notes, drink it fresh. If you're not so much interested in that, you can sell it for however long you want to. A little bit of bittersweet chocolate, roasted malt. And if you want a bourbon version of this, just throw you a little bit of bourbon in there, and there you go. You got it. You don't have to have a barrel-aged version of it. You can make it yourself. I've done it, and I do it. I mean, if I'm not reviewing a beer and I get something that's not quite as what I want it to be, I'll throw a little bit of bourbon in it, and there you go. You got it. It'll kick it up a notch or 12. Awesome smelling beer, and I am getting big coffee notes. It smells very, very pleasant. So let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Big time coffee notes. Definitely getting those. Sumatra coffees are really impressive to me when they're brewed with beers. That is a very prominent, heavy coffee aroma and taste. Very, very nice. A great final beer of the evening for me, which it is. And it's not super pricey, guys. I mean, you're not going to pay an arm and a leg for this usually, depending on where you're buying it. So, very nice beer. A very, very pleasant beer. That's why I picked it up. It wasn't super expensive, and I have a very limited selection of beers like this to buy. I have to go to the craft beer store to even get them. Kroger's or the little gas station / beer store down the street doesn't even carry stuff like this, so you have to go. I have to go to the craft beer store to even pick this stuff up. So, very, very tasty beer. So let's sip on it, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sitting on for a while. Decent lacing is left on the glass. Not awesome or outstanding or anything like that. It's tasty beer. The big coffee notes. Rich roasted malt, maybe a hint of some caramel toffee or black molasses in there. If you want a bourbon barrel version of this, throw you a little bourbon in there, and there you go. You got it. And as much bourbon as you want to put in there is what you want to drink. So I have done that, guys, and it works. It definitely works. Get you a good bourbon, and put you however many, a cap full of jigger or more or whatever you want to make it to where you want it to be. But for this one, very tasty beer. A lot of people say outstanding, best thing I ever had, world class, 10 beer, 10 plus beer. Man, not quite that to me. Final choke. It's close, but not quite a cigar. 98 for me, guys. Definitely an A beer. Very tasty for what it is. It's not claiming to be a bourbon barrel version, but you can fix that. And very tasty. It's not an expensive beer to buy, and probably available in just about most states. Founders distribution is pretty wide. So, and like I said, a lot of politics going on with that brewery now, and what's happened over the last year or so. It is what it is, guys. I'm not going to get into that. It's a good final beer of the evening for me, which is what it is. So, and I hadn't done it in a while, so I decided to go ahead and do it again. So, very tasty beer to me. Over to Beer Advocate. They have it at 100 world class. Not quite that to me, but if you say it is, would not argue with that one bit. And over to Untapped, they have it at 4.13, which is in their A minus. So I'm in between both the Beer Advocate's giving it a 10, and Untapped is giving it an A minus, and I'm giving it an upper end of the A scale. So it is what it is, what you like to drink, what you want to drink. It is a very tasty beer to me. So might be drinking some more of these, but I won't be re-reviewing it anytime soon. But I just can't get anything decent around here. I just can't get it. I mean, it's just, even when I go across town to the beer store, I mean, nothing impressive. Nothing super impressive. It is what it is in this part of Virginia, and it sucks, and it does. It sucks out loud. But anyway, Founders Brewing Company Breakfast Stout. This is the 2020 edition. Very tasty. If you've had it, let me know what you think. Till we meet again, let's go see what's in the fridge.